The announcement was made on Tuesday in New York. Francis Kera is the first African to win the honor in its more than 40-year history. In the announcement, the 56-year-old architect was hailed for his pioneering designs that are sustainable to the earth and its inhabitants in the lands of extreme scarcity, said Tom Skizer, the chairman of the Hyatt Foundation that sponsors the award. And then we go on to South Sudan, and the United Nations Security Council has extended the mandate of the peacekeeping force in South Sudan for a year amid ongoing rebel violence in parts of Africa's youngest nation. AP News agency reported that Russia and China has abstained from the vote, and U.S. Ambassador to the UN Linda Thomas-Greenfield tweeted the renewed mandate would help strengthen efforts to prevent sexual and gender-based violence and enable the peace mission to provide electoral assistance. The UN retained the 19,000-strong contingent, comprising of 17,000 soldiers and 2,101 police officers. A deadly civil war between 2013 and 2018 left thousands dead and millions of people from their homes. A power-sharing deal signed has failed to stem violence in many parts of the country. The UN has issued grim projections about the possibility of holding elections next year. And then we go to Mozambique, and the Mozambican government says it will not succumb to international pressure to change its neutrality in Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Southern African nation was among the 35 countries that abstained from voting to a UN resolution to demand that Russia stops its offensive and immediately withdraw all troops. Foreign Minister Veronica Makamo said the country would continue to insist on dialogue between the warring neighbors. And on Tuesday, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky indicated there had been progress in the peace talks that are set to continue later. And then back home, and more than 10 Kenyan soldiers have been killed by a roadside explosive in southern Somalia. 5 others were seriously injured when their vehicle ran over an improvised explosive, a device in the Gedo region near the Kenya-Somalia border. The names of the killed soldiers have not been revealed, but a former Kenyan presidential aspirant said on a Twitter that his younger brother was among the dead. The attack has been blamed on Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab group, which has carried out similar strikes against civilians and the security convoys. The killed soldiers were part of the African Union mission in Somalia, a force deployed to the country to help the federal government fight the militants. And then we head over to Namibia, and the president, Hage Geingob, has announced that the wearing of face masks will no longer be mandatory in public spaces. Mr. Geingob also said vaccinated foreign visitors would not require PCR testing on arrival into the country. The removal of COVID-19 restrictions comes amid a reduction in new virus cases being reported. The president increased the number of people allowed to attend events from 500 to 1,000. He said that people using public transport and those attending indoor events will be encouraged to wear masks. The new measures will be in place for a month. The active coronavirus cases in the country stand at 222, with the country averaging 40 new cases per day in the last 7 days. And then you go to Burundi, and Burundi's President Evariste Ndayishimiye on Tuesday received a delegation from Rwanda in Gitega as part of the normalization of the relations between the two countries. This is the second time in less than a year that Kigali has sent a delegation to Gitega in efforts to normalize the two countries' relation that deteriorated since 2015. In July last year, Rwanda's Prime Minister Edward Ngirente visited Bujumbura for the Independence Day celebration, the first time a high-profile official from Rwanda traveled to Burundi since the political crisis in 2015. Since Ndayishimiye took over the office in 2020, relations between the two countries have improved significantly, with both sending delegations to hold discussions. Burundi is yet to open up its land border with Rwanda since 2015, that resulted in the banning of export of fruits and vegetables to Kigali. However, air transport remained open, with passengers from both countries traveling with ease. And that is the latest news from the continent of Africa. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with more news from Kenya and indeed from across the continent. Bye-bye for now.